Hey guys, Dr. Sean here. We're gonna do a mailbag this morning. I got a question that says, hey doc, talk about allergies a little bit. I got this, constant post-nasal drip. So let's go through this, all right? Allergies are tricky because they're not always allergies, right? We like to label everything as an allergy. A lot of times they're sensitivities. You're sensitive to something, and so it sets off a cascade in the body that looks inflammatory, but it's not a true allergen. Now, when you get into true allergies, you got to respect them, right? Always respect any health condition. Doesn't matter if it's a splinter. You have to respect it. So when you're looking at allergies, rule out the big boys. Rule out anything that require an EpiPen or goes into the body, goes into anaphylaxis or shock. Those are life-threatening issues. Always take those off the table. Then once you do that, you can do a number of different things to tell what's going on. If you're just not sure and you're like, man, I want to know, the skin tests that they do, hit and miss. I'm not that impressed with them over the years. One I do like though is something called an all-cat exam. It's expensive, it's not cheap. You're looking probably at $800, $900, maybe $1,000 blood test. But I'll tell you, it will tell you everything that body is allergic to. It's a phenomenal test. It's called an all-cat. Now, once you get past that, I run an IUP, an integrated urinalysis panel, because I know that most allergies come through the GI tract, right? We weaken the immune system, we run it down, we overload the system in the gut, and the gut starts to leak. When you get a leaky gut, welcome to the world of allergies. Now stuff starts getting inside, the body tags it as foreign and says, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be here, and the immune system goes after it. You'll notice autoimmune disorders follow the same pattern. So we look at that and say, well gosh, so then allergies and autoimmune disorders, they're kind of the same thing in a way, and they are. So when we look at allergies, we say, okay, what's the rule? Where does it come from? Where does it go? Starts in the gut a lot of times. And once it starts there, is there something we can do about it? How do we find where it starts at? So I run that integrated urinalysis panel. It's a urine test. It's going to let me know if you're not digesting a food group, then you're throwing it away. Well, if you're aggravating the body with that and you form a leaky gut syndrome, all of a sudden now you got stuff leaking inside the body and your immune system goes haywire, and here comes the allergies. So how do you fix it? That's the real key. You got to seal the gut. That's the rule. Seal it and heal it. So you find out what you don't digest and what the body's deficient in. Start nourishing that body back to health. You start digesting your food better, helping the body to eliminate. Now, once you've done that, now you got to go back inside and say, okay, but the body's already tagged things. So we have to re-educate it. They call it harmonizing. You have to harmonize the body with the things you're allergic to or the things that you're sensitive to. So there's ways of doing this. I use different techniques. There's NET, there's NAET, there's TBM. There's all these different systems that are out there that are really, really, really good at harmonizing the body against an allergen. So as you support normal function, improve digestion, and then harmonize it for things that it's sensitive to, all of a sudden stuff just starts going away. Molds, pollens, spores, grasses, wheat, dairy, soy, all these things you start getting under control. And as you get them under control, then the incidence of having a reaction goes down. Now, one of my better stories, I had a little girl I treated years ago. She had a peanut allergy, right? Now, peanut allergies in children, it can be severe. Her mother was a nurse. She always carried her EpiPen around with her. All right, I'm okay with that. We ran our tests. We ran our RAS test, which is our skin test, right, on her. And they graded 1 to 4. She was a 4, which means highly sensitive. She gets anywhere near this stuff, she could go into an anaphylaxis. So we started treating her. We started doing the work that we do, right? We did our method, the McCaffrey method. We restored normal function. I adjusted her. I helped with her diet. I helped with digestion. I cleaned things up. I started balancing the body, harmonizing it. I told the mom, run another test. Let's see what it is. All of a sudden, that 4 went to a 2. I thought, well, that's pretty cool. Let's keep going. So we kept going, and we treated her some more. And I got to a point where I would treat her in the office, and everything I was doing would no longer react. And I asked the mom, run the test again. And so they did. It was down to a 1. And I said, you know what? For my world, I'm okay with this. I wouldn't eat peanut butter. I wouldn't go eating peanuts. But this little girl now no longer has to be scared to death when she gets around something. She's still respectful, right? That's what we said. Be respectful of the condition. She's still careful, but she doesn't have to be terribly paranoid because the allergy sensitivity level dropped enough that it wouldn't send her over the edge. And after this time, she came around it many times. You know, her little brother would have something that had peanuts in it or this or that, and she didn't have the heavy reaction that she'd had early in her life. So it's really cool stuff you can do. Allergies are things, guys, that you can do phenomenal work with. It just takes time. And it all goes back to that basic thing. What's the cause of all disease? Stress. So you just got to figure out, okay, well, what's the cause of all stress? It's men. Mechanical, emotional, nutritional. It's that triangle we're always talking about. Balance it. If you get rid of maybe 30 or 40 of the little stresses in the body, it can handle the big ones better. It's got more energy and more resources to do so. So it can change your life, and it's fun to do these things. I mean, when you're sitting there with a little 11-year-old girl, say, hey, look, you don't have to, be parent. I mean, she was scared to death out of being near a child in the lunchroom with a peanut butter sandwich. Try getting a kid through elementary school without running into peanut butter, right? It's almost impossible. And she was paranoid over it. Well, when we got her past this, now respects it, doesn't eat it, stays away, but she can sit next to it and not be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, because that in itself is hard for her. So it really was a profound thing for me. It was a lot of fun to do in practice, guys, and this is why we do these mailbag segments for you. So if you like these things, make sure you share them with your friends, you get it out there and let them know there are options, there are natural things you can do to get your life back. I'm Dr. Shaw, the Robin Hood Healthcare. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.